It is time to dive into the matchup between the Cowboys and the Ravens in Week 2 of the NFL preseason. And there are plenty of storylines to unpack as we look at some of the players who could make the biggest impact on the field. The preseason is always a mix of excitement and uncertainty, a time where players are fighting for roster spots, trying to prove themselves, and where coaches are making critical decisions about who will carry the team into the regular season. For the Cowboys, one of the biggest focal points continues to be Joe Milton at quarterback. Milton is a player who has generated a lot of buzz because of his physical tools, and for good reason. He has an incredibly strong arm, impressive mobility, and the athleticism that can make a quarterback look like a game-changer at times. However, the big question that hangs over him is consistency. Against the Rams in the first preseason game, we saw the same pattern that has followed Milton through his college years, and even into his time at Tennessee and Michigan. The talent is undeniable, the potential is high, but the execution often falls short. Throws are made too quickly, there is not enough control over timing, and the finesse required to consistently hit open receivers is still missing. There were moments where the opportunity was there for a big play, such as when a receiver was wide open downfield, but the pass sailed past, missing the chance to turn a routine play into something spectacular. What Milton needs to do is slow down, gain a sense of rhythm, and show that he can manage the game while still using his physical gifts. If he can achieve that balance, the Cowboys could have a quarterback who is not only explosive but also reliable enough to handle regular season pressure. Moving on to the running backs, the situation is equally intriguing, if not more unpredictable. The Cowboys have several options, and the rotation is not entirely clear heading into this game. Jaden Blue appears unlikely to suit up, having not practiced during the week, leaving questions about who will fill the role he might have played. Miles Sanders is expected to be back, and Javonte Williams is another name fans are hoping to see, but it is important not to assume that these players are automatically locked in as top contributors. Their performance over the past couple of seasons has shown flashes, but also inconsistencies, which makes the preseason a crucial period for proving themselves. Beyond the so-called top two backs, there are other players like Deuce Vaughn, Phil, Malik Davis, and perhaps even some lesser-known options who could find their moment on the field. The coaching staff will have to make decisions about workload, game flow, and who can step up when called upon, and that makes watching this position group particularly compelling. The dynamic of the running back rotation could be a deciding factor in the game, especially against a Ravens defense that has shown flashes of strength and aggression in stopping the run. Wide receivers are another group under the microscope, and Tan Holden is a player who has caught attention for his efforts in training camp and preseason action. Holden started lower on the depth chart, and while his opportunities have been limited, he has managed to create some memorable plays. This game could be a chance to see him climb the depth chart and demonstrate that he is more than just a backup option. He is competing with players like Jalen Brooks and Ryan Fennoy, and the stakes are high because the Cowboys' wide receiver core has a few established stars at the top, making it difficult for newcomers to break through. Fennoy, in particular, has been intriguing because his athletic gifts are notable, though perhaps not fully translated into game-changing performance yet. When given the chance, Milton could connect with him on deeper routes, but that depends on the quarterback finding the rhythm and Fennoy being able to capitalize on the separation he creates. Watching how these receivers develop chemistry with Milton will be a storyline that unfolds over the course of the preseason, with each game offering glimpses of who might emerge as a reliable weapon in the passing attack. Turning to the offensive line, this unit is always crucial, and the Cowboys have a mix of veterans and younger players who are striving to solidify their positions. Tyler Booker is expected to play, and that is encouraging, but there are questions about Hakeem Adonai at right tackle. In the previous preseason matchup, he allowed pressure that led to a sack, and his performance will be under close scrutiny this time around. The team's depth behind the starters is another factor to monitor, as players like Tyler Gayton, Terrence Steele, Nathan Thomas, and others could be called upon if injuries occur or performance dips. The offensive line is often a deciding factor in games, even in the preseason, because it sets the tone for both the running game and the protection of the quarterback. Watching Adonai and his counterparts navigate the defensive front of the Ravens will provide insight into how prepared this unit is for the challenges of the regular season and whether adjustments are necessary. On the defensive side, Mazi Smith is a first-round pick who has yet to fully live up to expectations. His performance against the Rams showed some areas that need improvement, and the matchup against the Ravens' running attack will be telling. The Cowboys' run defense will be tested, and Smith's ability to control gaps, make tackles in space, and contribute to a cohesive defensive front will be critical. Last week, the defense held up initially, but eventually struggled against sustained drives, highlighting the importance of consistency and focus over the course of the game. Meanwhile, Maris Leaf was a standout in the first preseason game, particularly on special teams, and his instincts and quickness caught attention. He could become a player who earns more playing time if he continues to make impactful plays. Defensive backs like Izzy Mwamu and Zion Childress are also intriguing prospects. Mwamu impressed in the opening game, and there is hope that he can continue to be a disruptive presence. Childress has been getting more reps with the first-team defense in practice, and monitoring his performance will give a sense of whether the Cowboys have the depth and talent to solidify their secondary. The team's current situation in the defensive backfield is uncertain, with several corners dealing with injuries or in developmental stages, making every snap in the preseason a valuable test for potential starters and rotational players. Finally, the safety position presents another layer of intrigue. Players like Maris Bell and Wayne Thomas have not yet fully proven themselves, but with some starters banged up, they could see significant playing time. Their performance will be key in evaluating whether the Cowboys can rely on them to step up and maintain stability in the secondary. The interplay between young talent, experience, and coaching decisions in this position group will have a direct impact on the team's ability to defend against both the pass and the run, making every play an important indicator for the future. The preseason, in many ways, is a series of additions, where every snap counts and every mistake can be instructive. For the Cowboys, the matchup against the Ravens will reveal more about who can handle pressure, who can capitalize on opportunities, and which players have the potential to emerge as key contributors. Whether it is Milton finding his rhythm, the running backs establishing a reliable rotation, the wide receivers making plays downfield, the offensive line holding firm, or the defense stepping up against a challenging opponent, the storylines are rich and multifaceted. Fans have the chance to observe growth, gauge potential, and anticipate which players might define the team's identity heading into the regular season. Each position group carries its own narrative, and the unfolding drama on the field promises to be as compelling as the statistics and highlights that will follow. As the Cowboys step onto the field against the Ravens, the intensity of preseason football becomes immediately apparent. Every snap, every route, every defensive alignment carries a weight that might not show up on the stat sheet, but resonates profoundly with coaches, teammates, and fans watching closely. The Ravens are a team with a disciplined, aggressive approach on both sides of the ball, and their preseason matchups have been revealing glimpses into how their roster might perform once the regular season begins. For the Cowboys, adjusting to that style is not just a matter of strategy. It is a test of adaptability, preparation, and mental toughness. The opening drives highlight the importance of execution. Milton, under center, surveys the defense, his eyes darting across the formation, looking for clues that might give him an edge. The Ravens' defensive backs are compact, disciplined, and quick to react, forcing Milton to make split-second decisions that expose both his potential and his current limitations. One particular play early on demonstrates this perfectly. A wide receiver streaks down the sideline, seemingly open for a big gain, yet Milton's timing is just off. The ball sails slightly high, giving the defender an opportunity to recover. It's a moment that encapsulates the challenges of preseason football. Talent and preparation collide with timing and execution, and the outcome can hinge on the smallest detail. The running backs step into the fray, and here, the fluidity of rotations becomes even more evident. Miles Sanders receives the first carry, and his approach shows a blend of patience and aggression. He allows blocks to develop before making decisive cuts, reading the defense with a veteran's eye. The line ahead of him, bolstered by Tyler Booker and a mix of starters and backups, attempts to establish gaps and lanes, but the Ravens' front seven is relentless, shifting and stunting in ways designed to disrupt timing. Sanders gains some yardage, but the defensive presence is palpable, underscoring how even small adjustments in blocking schemes or footwork can have a major impact on a run-play success. Javonte Williams enters later, bringing a slightly different style, more explosive, lower center of gravity, and willing to absorb contact while pushing for extra yards. Watching these two backs in action provides insight not just into their talent, but into how the Cowboys might use them in tandem to create a versatile rushing attack capable of adjusting to the defense's strengths and weaknesses. The wide receivers, meanwhile, continue to stake their claims. Tan Holden finds a rhythm with Milton, creating separation on short and intermediate routes. His footwork, acceleration, and timing on breaks demonstrate the kind of polish that can distinguish a practice squad hopeful from a legitimate roster contender. Ryan Fennoy, lining up at multiple positions, shows flashes of creativity and adaptability. The Ravens' defensive backs adjust, mixing zone and man coverage, and it becomes clear that communication within the Cowboys' receiving core is just as crucial as individual talent. When a defensive back shifts too late or misreads a route, Milton and Fennoy exploit the opportunity for a gain, but when timing is slightly off, the play breaks down. These moments are teaching opportunities in real time, offering a preview of which players are likely to translate potential into consistent production when the stakes are higher. On the offensive line, challenges persist. Hakeem Adonai faces a relentless pass rush that tests his technique, awareness, and endurance. Each defensive lineman is probing for weaknesses, and the subtle battle of leverage, hand placement, and footwork plays out over every snap. Tyler Gayton and Terrence Steele rotate in, each showcasing individual strengths while trying to maintain cohesion with the starters. This unit, often the invisible foundation of any team's success, demonstrates how crucial communication, anticipation, and adaptability are under live conditions. A single missed assignment or delayed reaction can disrupt a drive, as the quarterback faces pressure and the running back finds fewer open lanes. Observing these dynamics reveals the complexity of maintaining a functional offensive front in a league where every defense is studying tendencies and exploiting mismatches. The defensive side of the ball is equally intricate. Mazie Smith, lining up against the Ravens' running game, demonstrates both athleticism and areas for growth. Gap control, tackling technique, and reading the offensive line's movements are all under scrutiny, and every play provides feedback for coaches and players alike. Maris Leaf continues to make his mark, particularly on special teams and in passing situations. His ability to anticipate routes, close quickly, and disrupt timing contributes to a defensive unit that relies on cohesion as much as raw talent. Izzy Mwamu and Zion Childress rotate through snaps, and their performance is telling of the depth available in the secondary. Each defender's reaction speed, ability to maintain coverage under pressure, and resilience against double moves highlights the nuanced skill set required to succeed at the professional level. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. Whispers are swirling around the NFL, suggesting that CeeDee Lamb might be considering a shocking exit from the Dallas Cowboys. While nothing has been confirmed by the team or the player, insiders hint that tensions over contract negotiations and the direction of the franchise could be driving the star wide receiver toward a major career decision. Rumors indicate that Lamb, who has been a dominant force on the field and one of the league's most electrifying receivers, might be exploring his options in free agency sooner than anyone expected. Speculation is rampant that teams in desperate need of a premier offensive weapon are already circling, gauging whether Lamb could be swayed to join them. Industry chatter even suggests that the timing of this possible departure is strategic, with Lamb waiting to maximize leverage and negotiate a deal that reflects his elite performance. Fans and analysts alike are abuzz with possibilities, imagining how the NFL landscape could shift dramatically if this rumored move materializes, potentially altering the balance of power across several conferences. The Cowboys, known for their fiercely loyal fan base, may find themselves in uncharted territory if this rumor proves true, needing to rethink their offensive strategy and roster planning in a hurry. The murmurs around the league have intensified as speculation grows regarding which teams might emerge as frontrunners to land Lamb should he leave Dallas. Conversations among executives and agents hint at a bidding war brewing behind the scenes, though nothing official has leaked. Some insiders whisper that franchises with a combination of cap space, talented quarterbacks, and a glaring need for a top-tier receiver are particularly interested, viewing Lamb as a game-changer capable of transforming their offensive schemes overnight. Rumors also point to possible tension points that could have contributed to his dissatisfaction in Dallas, including disagreements over long-term contracts, the team's vision, and internal dynamics within the coaching staff. If Lamb's rumored exit becomes reality, it could trigger a domino effect, influencing trades, free agent signings, and draft strategies across the league. Meanwhile, fans are already theorizing about potential destinations, social media platforms buzzing with speculation, mock trades, and fantasy football recalculations. Even casual observers are captivated as whispers of Lamb's departure feed into the larger narrative of player empowerment and the increasing fluidity of talent movement in the NFL. The rumor, though unverified, has become impossible to ignore. Inside the Cowboys organization, sources suggest there is growing concern over Lamb's future, with speculation circulating that the team may not have anticipated such a sudden departure. Rumors hint at internal meetings taking place to explore contingency plans, including scouting potential trade partners or promoting emerging receivers to fill the looming void. Some insiders speculate that behind-the-scenes tensions over coaching philosophies, offensive schemes, and contract negotiations could be influencing Lamb's potential decision, though nothing has been confirmed. The mere suggestion of him leaving has reportedly sent ripples through locker room discussions, creating an atmosphere of uncertainty and heightened media scrutiny. Observers point to this as a classic example of the delicate balance between star players and organizational strategy, where rumors alone can significantly impact morale, fan perception, and future planning. While official statements remain absent, the chatter indicates a scenario in which Dallas might be forced to rethink its offensive identity quickly, preparing for a potential absence of one of the league's most dynamic talents. The rumor has, for now, captivated both local and national audiences, keeping everyone guessing about what could happen next. Meanwhile, fans are fueling the fire with speculation, dissecting every tweet, interview, and cryptic social media post from Lamb and the Cowboys organization. The rumor of his possible departure has sparked debates over whether Dallas can maintain its competitive edge without him, or if this could be a pivotal turning point in the franchise's trajectory. Some suggest that if Lamb leaves, other teams might attempt to lure away key players, triggering a wider ripple effect across the league. Social media chatter indicates that supporters are split between shock, disappointment, and anticipation, with many expressing hope that the rumor is false while others actively predict which franchises might be next to court him. Analysts and sports columnists have joined the conversation, speculating on potential outcomes, draft strategies, and trade possibilities, emphasizing that even unconfirmed rumors can shape public perception and future planning. The persistent whispering about Lamb's future continues to dominate headlines, making it impossible to dismiss the story as mere conjecture. The rumor alone has already created a palpable sense of tension and expectation across the NFL, leaving fans and insiders on edge. As speculation intensifies, the potential implications of CeeDee Lamb leaving the Cowboys could reshape the NFL landscape in unprecedented ways. Rumors indicate that if the move materializes, teams with quarterback stability and offensive needs might aggressively pursue him, while Dallas faces the challenge of retooling its passing attack. Industry chatter suggests that agents and executives are quietly strategizing behind closed doors, anticipating every scenario from blockbuster trades to high-profile free agent signings. Some whisper that this could be an opportunity for rising stars within Dallas to step up, though replacing a player of Lamb's caliber seems daunting. The rumor of his departure has ignited intense media scrutiny, fan debates, and internal speculation among other teams, with many predicting dramatic shifts in offensive hierarchies. While nothing is confirmed, the story continues to gain momentum, feeding a narrative that merges excitement, uncertainty, and high-stakes strategy. If true, this rumored move might be one of the most talked-about player decisions in recent NFL history, forcing fans, teams, and analysts to reimagine what's possible in a league where one star's potential exit can change everything. The rumor, vibrant and persistent, now dominates discussions, leaving everyone questioning what comes next. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.